Hi, this is Todd Schuler of Blondell, Miller and Schuler, and this video is about the benefits to which you are entitled if you file a workers' compensation claim. If I sent you this video, it's probably that you would have just sat in my office and heard a similar rendering of it, but this could be helpful as a bookmark or if you forgot what I said. If you have an accepted workers' compensation claim, you're entitled to a certain cachet of benefits. Among them, primarily, are temporary total disability, permanent partial disability, and medical bills for life as they pertain to the accident. In order to have a compensable workers' compensation claim, you file your workers' compensation claim, usually online, and you may very well have done that here in my office. The insurance company for the employer then has 30 days to decide if they want to contest the case, if they want to accept the case, or ultimately, if they don't do anything within 30 days, the case is deemed accepted. And if they do deny the case, then there will be a hearing automatically set in where we will have to prove that you were in fact injured at work as you allege. We use medical records and your testimony and maybe the testimony of coworkers to do that. Once you have an accepted claim, you're entitled to those benefits. Temporary total disability is the weekly benefit for when you are treating and off work is related to the injury. You're entitled to 2/3 of your average weekly wage, which is a number set by looking at the 14 weeks that you worked prior to the injury and taking an average of the amount of money you got there. You're entitled to 2/3 of that number, called average weekly wage, and that money is tax-free. There are some employers, if you make above a certain amount of money, that temporary total disability gets capped. So you're capped at what's called the state average weekly wage, which is an average of the employees all over the state. The second benefit is medical benefits for life. You never have to close a workers' compensation case. So if 20 years from now, there's medical treatment that is both related to this incident to which you had an accident, and reasonable and necessary, that medical treatment will be paid for unless you actively take steps to settle your case. Finally, you're entitled to a money benefit called permanent partial disability. And that permanent partial disability benefit is based on the percentage of permanent disability that a doctor and ultimately the Workers' Comp Commission deem you to have at the conclusion of your case. So when you're back to work, typically, when you're done with medical treatment, you are entitled to this money benefit based on a formula, a percentage of a body part, the year you were injured, your average weekly wage, and all that'll go into a formula, and the percentage of the body part itself. It'll go into a formula and spit out an amount of money to you. Typically, attorney's fees only come out of that money. That permanent partial disability money at the end of the case is usually the event where the attorney is paid, although there are some circumstances before then where the attorney can earn fees. There are other benefits. One to keep in mind is mileage and tolls and parking to and from doctors. That's a small benefit, but it can add up, particularly in a situation where you're going to physical therapy on a regular basis. And there's also a benefit called vocational rehabilitation. If you are unable to return to your pre-injury employment, there are protections under vocational rehabilitation that can either help you get other employment, potentially retrain you, and it's something to keep in mind in the more catastrophic of injuries. But essentially, those are the benefits of the Maryland Workers' Comp system that you're entitled to once you have achieved the status of compensable workers' compensation claim.